afternoon, everyone. Welcome to another episode of Spilling Tea. I am your host, Tiffany Daniels, and this is another segment, folks, of That Word Doesn't Mean What You Think It Means. So today, folks, the word we are going to be going over is a favorite of A.H. Stan's. And that word is what their queen is most likely. Narcissism, folks. So, we are actually going to do a little bit of background because we have Greek mythology involved in regards to this word. So, without further ado, we are going to first of all talk about the myth on which the word is based. That's right, folks, we are going to talk about Narcissus. Now, unfortunately, I am still fighting with the free software and going back and forth with technical support, so they will let me do my split screen again, so you're going to have to bear with me reading from this. For a reference, where we are getting this information today is going to be from GreekMythology.com. Alright, so let's get started. Who was Narcissus? Narcissus was a hunter in Greek mythology, son of the river god Cephissus and the nymph Leurope. He was a very beautiful young man, and many fell in love with him. However, he only showed them disdain and contempt. One day while he was hunting in the woods, the Oread nymph Echo spotted him and immediately fell for him. When Narcissus sensed that someone was following him, Echo eventually revealed herself and tried to hug him. However, he pushed her off and told her not to disturb him. Echo, in despair, roamed the woods for the rest of her life and wilted away until all that remained was an echo sound. Nemesis, the goddess of retribution and revenge, learned that what had happened and decided to punish Narcissus for his behavior. She led him to a pool. There the man saw his reflection in the water, and he fell in love with it. Although he did not realize in the beginning that it was just a reflection, when he understood it, he fell in despair that his love could not materialize and committed suicide. Interesting little tidbit, isn't it? Alright, now we're going to go into the actual definition of narcissism, and then we're going to go into how it is being used incorrectly. Okay, so let's get this pulled up here. This definition, by the way, is brought to you by www.britannica.com. Narcissism, pathological self-absorption. First identified as a mental disorder by the British essayist and physician Havelock Ellis in 1898. It is characterized by an inflated self-image, an addiction to fantasy, by an unusual coolness and composure shaken only when the narcissistic confidence is threatened, and by the tendency to take others for granted or to exploit them. The disorder is named for the mythological figure Narcissus, who we just went over, who fell in love with his own reflection. According to Sigmund Freud, narcissism is a normal stage in child development, but it is considered a disorder when it occurs after puberty. Alright. So, that pretty much covers it. There is more if you want to get involved into the psychological side of things. Again, that reference is Britannica.com. I will make sure to link that in the vid description for you if you're interested in it. Now, we have a good solid definition of what narcissism is. By and large, even though this is highly simplifying it, it is people that are in love with themselves, right? They're in love with themselves and with their own ego. And they may feel that they are falling in love with a person, but only as much as that person can complement their ego. So, how is it being used and misused badly in social media? Well, whenever there is a disagreement, whenever you disagree with something online, whether it be that AH is a victim of DV, or whether it's you do not believe there is any coherent evidence that vaccines in any way cause autism at all, when you have an opposing opinion to the popular narrative, people will call you, let's say it together, folks, a narcissist. Can anyone see how this is incorrect here? How that is a complete misuse of the actual word? Well, let's get into it then. When you are disagreeing with someone, it has to be one hell of a leap for someone to believe that it is coming out of some form of self-interest. Merely stating an opinion is not a narcissistic behavior, especially when that opinion is backed up by non-objective facts, or in one case, even years upon years of pure research backed. So, when you call dissenters narcissistic, I really don't think you have any idea what you're talking about. You have no idea about the meaning of the word. You're just trying to find something to explain why this person would possibly disagree with you and the popular narrative going around at the time. It's a popular word. It's a popular phrase now, especially since the JD versus AH case, where everyone's throwing it around. But it's not the only arena. I was recently called basically a narcissist. The exact wording was that I had narcissistic tunnel vision in regards to vaccines causing autism, because I mentioned the fact that genetically my dad had autistic traits and my mom had a few herself. You see where I'm going with this. How that's narcissistic tunnel vision. When he said that's just one case, when you just alluded before that all autism was caused by vaccines is beyond me. That's one example of a complete misuse of the word. Narcissism is about self-absorption. So, if I'm self-absorbed, why would I feel a need to go and defend others when they're being attacked, like with the anti-vaxxer movement? Or if I am self-absorbed, why would I even care what was going on in JD versus AH? Wouldn't I, by definition, be too wrapped up in myself to care? Just a thought. Because, folks, when you use these words on social media and you misuse them over and over and over again, you're not helping your arguments or your stances. You're making yourself sound ignorant. You're not achieving the goal of making yourself look like the intelligent hero who silenced a voice. You're making yourself look like a moron. So, before we go throwing around words, especially like narcissist, and then use them completely out of context or completely in a wrong manner entirely, then you don't know what you're doing. And if you're wrong about how you're using the word narcissist, maybe you want to look back at the entire issue you are arguing over, calm down, and see if maybe the other side might have a point. Alright, folks. That's all I got for this afternoon. Kind of overdid myself yesterday with the 2 videos, so I will probably be mainly seeing you on Twitter, and if anybody has a stream up today, although yesterday, who knows, right? We don't get many views on this channel. The few that we do get do tend to get removed by YouTube, so as always, folks, please don't forget to hit that like button, hit subscribe, and don't forget to hit the comments. Do appreciate your time this afternoon. I do hope you have a good one. Now, before we go, I was kind of holding off to go over the judge that's getting ready to take over for the JDAH case in July, but we will be going over that. I just wanted to take a moment to maybe look at a little bit more information before I did that video. I was actually kind of hoping I could get this issue solved with the split screen so we can all look at the same thing. We'll see. Alright, folks. Thanks for your time. You have a good one. Bye-bye.